Good morning, welcome back to the channel. We're out here in Putnam County, western Indiana. Sunrise again, although typical, fall, let's call it fall, but it's really more like winter. Morning in western Indiana. It's about 32 degrees, fairly cloudy. Sun's due to come up here in about 15 minutes or so. It's already pretty bright. If you look around, you can see that there's nothing on the trees. Basically our fall color lasts for all of for lucky 2 weeks, and then everything disappears. I'm going to take a couple images of the Dunbar Covered Bridge, which you can see out here in the distance. I'll take a few images of it, and then I'm going to give you my perspective on the RF 70-200 2.8, a lens which I've been using for about a year. So I'll take a couple images, put them in here, let you take a look at them if anything turns out, so you can get a feel for what it's like. Then I'll come back and give you my perspective, on the lens. So stay tuned. Alright, so I've shot a few images here at sunrise. Sun's come up, and as usual, typical Indiana sky, mainly clouds, a little bit of color for a few seconds, but nothing really earth-shattering. I'll throw an image or two in here at the end just so you can see what I captured. But let's talk about this lens here, the 70-200 2.8, the RF version, and my perspective on it. And as I said earlier, I've been shooting it for about a year. All right, give you an example, or just so when I say use it, I've used it for a lot of different things. I used it this year in Grand Teton. I used it in Yellowstone. I used it in the Badlands and in the Black Hills. I used it in Rocky Mountain National Park as well, and most recently I used it at Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I've shot over the years pretty much every Nikon version of the 70-200, even the 80-200, the push-pull, you name it, I've shot all of them. Alright, I've shot the Sigma, I've shot the Tamron versions, multiple versions of the Sigma, multiple versions of the Tamron. When I was shooting Olympus, I shot the Panasonic 35-100, which is the equivalent in the Micro Four Third of a 70-200. I've shot a lot of different 70-200 2.8 lenses, and I can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the best one. Alright, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the best one. Not only because of its size, I mean, again, look at it. It's pretty small here. I mean, yeah, granted, it does extend, and it gets some knocks for, because it extends, and it's not a in-body lens, where like my other ones I've shot where, it totally telescopes inside the lens. You don't see it coming out. Doesn't really matter. Alright, I'm not going to kid you. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change things too much. Now, there's the argument in bad weather or whatever, you interjected moisture or anything into the inside of the lens. I haven't seen that yet. Alright, so I don't think that's really an issue. Alright, I don't think it's something you need to worry about. Alright, I think what you really need to be concerned about is focus speed, image quality. This thing focuses lightning quick. Alright, and its image quality, well, I mean, all the RF lenses, anything to do with RF, the Canon RF lenses, the image quality is just beyond a shadow of a doubt, the best of the best. Alright, and here we go, the sun's just starting to come through. Hey, finally, we got a break in the clouds. We'll try to take an image here of the sun on the bridge. See if we can get that to work. If I can get my camera to come on. Of course. There we go. What I've been waiting for all morning. Finally, the sun broke the clouds. I was hoping that would happen. Of course, now it's in my eyes, but that's a different story. But again, this lens is fantastic. All right, the image quality is great. You know, balances well, especially on the R5. Its size makes it real easy to carry around. It's not as heavy as a lot of the other lenses. You know, there's really nothing not to like about this. If you're going to knock anything, okay, the one thing is, yes, it telescopes when you zoom in. Is that a problem? Again, in my world, no, it's not. It depends on you. What's important to you. Now, do you need a 70 to 200 2.8? To shoot landscapes? Probably not. As you can see now, the sun's starting to fade away. Do you, 2.8, do you really need it for landscape? No. The F4 is considerably less money, you know, and it'll do the job. Why do I like the 2.8? I think I've said this before when I was talking about the 15 to 35 2.8. Because it's nice to have when you need it, all right? It's a nice to have. Is it a must-have? The answer is no. Okay, you don't have to have it, but it is certainly something that if you can afford it, this is an incredible lens. Now granted, this thing's $2,800 if you want to buy it new and on the used market. There's not really much of a savings, okay? There's just not. You know, there's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason for it. This thing is really good, and when they're really good, they're hard to find, and you're going to pay for it, all right, when you do find it. If you got the money, I highly recommend it. If you don't, you know, go with the 70 to 200, you know, F4. It'll work good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great lens. I have not personally shot it, but I can guarantee you it's RF glass, so it's going to be good. All right, I don't even question that at all. All right, so you got to make that decision for yourself. Again, if you have the money, this is worth the money. Go after it. If you don't, you know. Find what works good for you. Remember, shoot with what you have. You don't need to have the best of the best. All right, shoot with what you have. The bulk of what you're going to get in your images comes from you. All right, how you line things up, how you use the light, how, you know, your perspective on it. Most importantly, you know, again, there's a lot of rules out there. I've said this before, a lot of different rules. Shoot what looks good to you. All right, remember, you're making images for yourself. Focus on what looks good to you. All right, if you want to work on practicing the rule of thirds and, you know, putting things in your foreground, no problem with that. All right, shoot what's good for you, what you like to do. That's the most important thing, and use what you have. Get out and use what you have. And most importantly, all right, I want to always close with this. Just say, you know, get outside and enjoy life. All right, you don't need to worry about all this other stuff. Just get out there, take some images, enjoy life. You know, it's just a great thing to do. All right. Hopefully I haven't rambled too much. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming along. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you would. I think I'm up to 28 subscribers now. Thanks for everybody who's signed up. You know, it doesn't cost anything, but I do appreciate it. You know, thanks for your time, everybody. All right, get outside and enjoy life.